Fixer Upper. Hey, Fixer Uppers, this is Zach. I'm coming to you live from my house, my chaotic house. But we're having a good time here. We got the three babies, everything's going well. But we're coming to you for a special FAQ, not Friday, but FAQ Saturday. I didn't get to talk to you guys yesterday, just with things, everything being a little bit busier. My kid is 1 month old today. How exciting is that? But I wanted to come to you and talk just real quickly about how to be successful on your New Year's resolutions. We talked a little bit last week about how sometimes we start our resolutions and it's like, oh, this is the same one that I had last year, and so our goal this year is to kind of break through the barrier here. Go find mommy. We might have some children's interruptions here with the babies, but that's okay. That's just life. We're gonna keep moving on through it. And so we talked about how are we going to do conquer our resolutions this year. And so last week, Gwyneth and I and Libby, you remember Libby was there. We're talking about SMART goals. Remember, you want specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-sensitive goals, and we went through and talked about each one of those and how they can help you really achieve your goal. We went actually put my goals through that, and so I'm in the process of achieving one of my New Year's resolutions, with, if you remember, was to run a marathon. If you didn't see that video just yet, you can watch that as soon as you're done watching this one. But today, like I said, real briefly, I want to talk about some ways that we can further help us get our New Year's resolutions or actually reach those goals. And today I want to talk about the super important tool or function of accountability. And you're like, oh, well, I could have told you accountability, but I think you'll talk to pretty much anybody who works in the fitness industry or any industry where there's a team, and they'll tell you it's always so much easier to do something when you have someone who you're accountable to or accountable with, who's doing it with you or helping you through that. And so there's three people or three things you should be accountable for. The first one is you should be accountable to yourself. And that seems like, okay, that seems strange, but that's that task of write it down somewhere. Write it down in your car, on your refrigerator. Say, this is what I want to do. Stick a post-it note on there. Put it at your office. Put it in the background of your phone or something like that, and say, this is something I'm going to hold accountability to myself. The second one is be accountable to a friend. And this is just pick someone you trust and vocalize what you want to do, right? It's just that simple. Just the action of telling somebody can kind of help it. Say, hey, I've said this thing now. I've told my best friend. They're going to help me actually reach this goal. The third one you can be accountable to is a group, and this is most likely when you're going to go and say, hey, there's these people with the same goal as me. I'm going to join that group, and that's going to help me be accountable. And then the last one is a coach. So I said there's four different people you can be accountable to. The last one is a coach. Now, coaches are unique because they're unique. They are invested in just as much, if not more, than you. They have the long-term vision that you have. They're going to help you get that. And so maybe the friend is going to, they care about you, and they're going to want you to do it. The group, they have the same goal as you, and you're going to be working through it together. The coach, they'd most likely, not only do they know what your goal is, they know how to get you there, and so they're going to help you be successful. So here's some really neat stats that go up with these accountability. So being accountable to yourself, you have a 50% greater chance of being successful in your New Year's resolutions if you're accountable to yourself. If you just start writing things down, you increase your chances of being successful by 50%. That's pretty amazing. If you if you tell a friend or join a group, now you're increasing your chances of being successful by 65%. And so you've already increased your chances by more than half that you can be successful just by telling somebody or joining a group of people that won't have the same goal as you. And this one's the kicker, and this is where Fixer Upper Health Club, we thrive on this. We love to join you guys. When you pick a coach and tell them your goal and ask them to help you reach this goal, you increase your chances of being successful by 95%. I didn't make this stuff up. This comes from research on goal setting, so if you were to pick a coach with your goal, tell them your goal, and they're going to create a plan to help you and walk alongside of you and motivate you and encourage you and give you the plan and give you the tools to be successful. You have a 95% greater chance of being successful. And so if you're someone who's been on the edge of like, man, I'm not sure I need to do this. I set my SMART goals. I'm pretty good, honestly, setting your SMART goals and actually writing those out. That's being accountable to yourself. So say you want to take that next step. If you find a coach, you're going to increase your chances of being successful by 95%. That's just stuff it's numbers you can't argue with there. But to help kind of drive this home, I was trying to think, what is a good analogy for accountability? I was just thinking a little bit, and I was actually doing a project with my son, and it was really neat, but it involved using a magnifying glass. So it's this little toy magnifying glass here. But this is what accountability can do for you. This is a great tool, right? It's awesome if you need to focus in on something, but just possessing it. We'll call this your goal. All right. You have the goal in front of you, but you created a SMART goal. Or, pardon me. So you have this goal in front of you. We're going to call that just the light. You have this idea, and now you have created your SMART goal. It's that you want to increase, or that you want to achieve. You want to have your specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-sensitive goals. So you have all these elements in, and you have this magnifying glass that you've kind of focused in on this SMART goal. What your coach or your accountability partner is going to help you do with that SMART goal is they're going to help you use it correctly. And so you've seen this a million different times. You might have played with it as a kid. I know when I was a kid, I loved to play with the magnifying glass. But if you shine this thing and you actually focus it correctly, you can actually make it very, very powerful, not only to kind of amplify what your goal is or to become more focused on what you're looking at, but you can actually turn this into energy and motivation. You can actually use light and actually create some pretty powerful stuff with this. You guys have ever used it to you've seen it where the light shines through it and it becomes more powerful, right? That's what this magnifying glass does when it's used correctly or used in a certain way. Accountability does the same way. It does the same thing. If you have a coach that takes your goals and applies it correctly and focuses in, you will find that you are going to be very successful. And so that was kind of, it might be a cheesy analogy, but it's one that resonated with me, just because I know how much accountability can help. Me as a coach at Fix Your Upper Health Club, I work out better when I'm accountable to somebody. So I'm accountable to my team at Fix Your Upper. I'm accountable to my wife. She knows a lot of my goals and she holds me to that. That just helps me be successful. So if you're looking to take that next step in reaching your New Year's resolution, I encourage you to find an accountability partner. Either become accountable to yourself by writing down that SMART goal, sticking it somewhere where you see it every day, finding a friend, talking to them about that, someone who's going to motivate you and kind of keep you honest, finding a group of people that are doing the same thing as you, or if you really want to, up the game and really be successful, if you're serious about this, I encourage you to get a coach. Remember, that will increase your chances of being successful by like 95%. And Gwyneth actually brought up a good point before I leave you here today. It's not just about finding your accountability group. Sometimes becoming successful, when we're bringing people on our team, it actually is figuring out who needs to be off the team. That's pretty cool. Bo is showing me one of his backpack. You want that on?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So Gwyneth was talking about how sometimes it's important to be accountable. Make sure that you're keeping the right people around you on your team. So when you're building your team of accountability, figure out who needs to be on that team and who shouldn't be on that team. That's just as important, all right, as finding the right people, is making sure you kind of get rid of the naysayers, people that are going to bring you down. What else did Gwyneth say? She wrote down some stuff here. All right. Awesome. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed our FAQ Saturday. Next week, we're gonna come back and share some more things about how to be successful with your New Year's resolutions. What are you doing? There you go. Kids want to wear backpacks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen the other video about creating SMART goals, that is like the foundation of being successful in the gym, and your New Year's resolutions is creating those SMART goals. I want you to stay tuned to Fixer Upper. There's a lot of great things coming on. We're going to have updates on our new building. Some of you may have heard that we're opening a new part of our facility. Construction is getting ready to begin, so stay tuned for updates on that. We'll be introducing parts of that team as well. And we're also going to have more topics, FAQs. If you guys have any questions at all, make sure you ask those questions. We'll make sure we get to them on future FAQ. I also want to plug Gwyneth Bradshaw's dietitian page here. If you're looking for some help on getting your nutrition straight, or if your New Year's resolution involves losing weight or getting honed in on nutrition, Gwyneth Bradshaw is the place to go. And you'll find her page linked to our page at Fixer Upper, and I'll actually link her website in the description of this video once it's over. You guys can check that out. I encourage you to check her out. She's the best in the biz. Until next time, we'll see you guys.